Okay, Kate, today we're going to cook your favorite, which is the kare-kare. Aside from adobo, pancit, kare-kare is one of the quintessential Filipino dishes. A lot of people think it's hard to make, but actually it's quite easy. It just takes time and patience to make it. So what we have here is I have beef stew meat, and I also have beef oxtail, which we've boiled for almost 2 hours because that's the longest part in cooking kare-kare. That's the secret of kare-kare. You have to make the beef really soft and tender. I just put it aside because we're saving the broth which we're going to use to make the kare-kare sauce. So we have peanut butter, bokchoy, string beans, some onions, garlic, shrimp paste, Filipino shrimp paste, annatto powder, and rice flour. If you don't have rice flour, you could use cornstarch as a slurry to thicken the sauce. So when you boil your beef, don't get rid of the beef stock. Just keep it because we're going to use that for making the kare-kare sauce. So let's get cooking with your kare-kare.
Now let's heat up a pan and heat some oil because we're going to begin with our preparation for the sauce. Now, once the oil is hot, we're going to put in some rice flour. We're going to prepare it like a roux, if you're familiar with Cajun cooking or Creole. So we're just going to fry the rice flour with oil. Keep on adding oil if it's drying up. Now we fry the aromatics, which is the onions. We'll just keep on frying that one, stir frying it. But add some oil if it's beginning to dry up. It's okay to continue adding oil. Next, we add in our other aromatic, the garlic, and we're just going to add more oil just to be able to fry the garlic. Now we're going to add in some annatto powder for color. You don't need to add annatto powder, but traditionally we add this for coloring. So we just continue to fry that until we get that nice golden yellow color, golden brown, golden yellow. And once the onions are soft, we're going to add in our beef, oxtail, and beef stew meat. This has been pre-cooked. And we're going to add in our saved beef stock. And we're just going to pour that over the beef, just enough to cover it, or a little bit more if you like a saucier sauce. So we're just going to we're going to mix that and wait for it to boil. Meanwhile, we're going to add in the peanut butter, which is the part of which is essential in kare-kare. So I'm putting in a heaping tablespoon of peanut butter. You don't have to put a lot. You just want to have a subtle flavor of the peanuts. Some people like to add a lot, but not for me. I just like to have that subtle taste to complement the kare-kare. The peanut should not be the predominant flavor of kare-kare. It should just complement each other. So while I was cooking that, you'll notice that the colors have turned into a bright yellow-orange color. It's because of the annatto seeds, annatto powder. So I'm letting that boil. I want my sauce thicker, so I made a cornstarch slurry. I'm adding that in just to thicken up the sauce, but you don't have to. So I'm just going to stir that in. Meanwhile, this is the time to flavor it with fish sauce. It stinks, but it's really good. Fish sauce really complements kare-kare. I haven't really tried it with salt, but probably if you don't like fish sauce, salt will work. But I would always use fish sauce. I'm just going to mix that in. And meanwhile, while that was cooking, I was boiling some water and preparing the vegetables. I'm blanching the string beans or Chinese beans for 1.5 minutes. You know it's ready if it's like this bright green. I'm also going to blanch the bokchoy leaves, or pecha as we call it in Filipino. This is a quick blanch, less than a minute. Set that aside, and we're going to blanch the stems or stalk of the bokchoy. for maybe almost 2 minutes for this because it's a little bit harder. So we're going to set all of the vegetables aside, and when the kare-kare is cooked, I'm just going to add in some vegetables, half of it at least, and then I'm going to mix in the vegetables and set aside the rest for garnishing later on. So if you look at that, wow, it's a nice golden color with the greens, light yellows. So we're ready to plate. Let's get ready.
So here we have it, our finished product, the kare-kare. That's sauteed shrimp paste, and this is our kare-kare, beef oxtail with vegetables. So finally the kare-kare is done. What's the joy in cooking if you can't taste it? So let's give it a try. I have here with me some rice. You can't be Filipino if you don't eat rice. But I'm just kidding. But let's give it a try. Ooh, nice golden brown color, like curry. This is the shrimp paste. It always goes with it. It's traditional. It adds a flavor, different level of umami, and it's puts a touch of saltiness in it. So let's try that. Wow, that's really good. Just the way that I'll always cook it. Beef is tender. The peanut butter, you barely could taste it. It should just give you this hint of peanuts. So, if there's a lot of peanuts in it, it's going to overpower your kare-kare. It should just give you that scent, that subtle flavoring of peanuts. There you go. And the vegetables too, let's get some of the vegetables. Move down. I'm eating all of this, so no need for a serving spoon, okay? More of the shrimp paste. Very good indeed. Quite easy to make. If you like Thai food, try doing this too. It's easy to make, and it's a little bit kind of exotic if you're not familiar with Filipino food. But easy to make, delicious and flavorful. So enjoy. Kare-kare.